Welcome to the PCFL show. This week, highlights from our PCFL championship game. PCFL show is sponsored by Semi-Pro Nation. Join the nation, semipronation.com, and Precision Photography. Not just a photographer, Brandy is a photojournalist who catches the action as it happens. The goal of the PCFL show is to give something back to the players and the fans of the league. Be sure to like the PCFL Facebook page and PCFL show links and share those links so we can get more friends, family, and fans involved with their local teams. Also, check out the PCFL Media channel on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/PCFL Media. I was going to do a production piece for this episode, but we'll save it, so tune in next week for our All-Star Game episode. The game is this Saturday, 6:30 p.m., Pinole Valley High School. Now let's get to the championship highlights. First quarter, and the Richmond War Angels kicked off to the Reading Heat to start the game. Sammy Gifford starts it off with a great return, taking the ball to the 50-yard line. On the first play of the game, a Ben Weaver pass was thrown behind Gifford, tipped up in the air, and Lonell Walker picks it up and takes it to the house for the touchdown. The point after was no good, and the War Angels are up 6-0. Getting the ball back, the Heat started to run the ball. They picked up good chunks of yardage and were able to get it all the way down to the 34-yard line. But a fumble proved costly, giving the ball back to the War Angels. So the War Angels take over for their first offensive possession. They opened up with a nice mix of running and passing plays. Quarterback E.J. Bogany did a nice job of spreading the ball around, hitting wide receiver Jonathan Walker as well as tight end James Allen. Moving the ball into the red zone, the Heat defense looked as if they were going to hold, but the War Angels score the touchdown on this Bogany run to cap off a 12-play, 65-yard drive. The point after is good, and the War Angels are up 13-0 in the first quarter. On the following kickoff, Sammy Gifford took the ball across the 50 and lost his footing. Didn't realize he wasn't touched at first, picked up an extra couple of yards, but you can tell a little frustration was starting to set in. The Heat and War Angels exchanged possessions, and in the second quarter, the War Angels defense turned up the heat on the Heat. Armando Cole has 2 pass deflections back-to-back, and on third down, he's in for the sack. The Heat punt, the War Angels get the ball back, they move the ball a little bit, but Bogany throws an interception to Willie Johnson. After an illegal substitution penalty that backed him up all the way to the 5, Ben Weaver hits Willie Johnson for the first down. He follows it up with a completion to Casey Clapsaddle. The Heat lose a little bit of ground as Tony Ferraris comes in for the sack. And a couple plays later on fourth down, Ferraris ends the series with another sack. With only a little time left on the clock, the War Angels ran the ball and went into the half with a 13-0 lead. The War Angels offense started the second half with a 3-and-out, but their defense stepped it up once again. Armando Cole shoots the gap, forces the fumble, and recovers it himself. Let's get another look at that. The War Angels come out and hit Michael Harris, who takes it down to the 1-yard line. This sets up the fullback dive by Jaime España. The point after is good, and the War Angels are up with 20 unanswered points. On the first play after another good return, Ben Weaver hits Sammy Gifford for this pass. who makes a good cut, breaks a tackle, and takes it all the way for the touchdown. The point after is good, and this energized the Heat. The defense came out hitting a little bit harder. Willie Johnson breaks up a second down pass attempt. And on third down, an interception by Alan Fleming ended the War Angel drive. But the Heat offense never got going as the War Angels picked off the first pass. The War Angels came out pounding the ball with Curtis Berry. And E.J. Bogany looks left, hits Jonathan Walker, who takes it inside the 10-yard line. Setting up this score by Curtis Berry. The point after is good, and the Heat start to mix things up a little bit. They move the ball pretty well with a couple of Jared Candelaria runs. They take a shot down the field to Willie Johnson, but it's picked off by Lonell Walker for his second of the day. The War Angels run a couple of plays, and the Heat get the ball back at the beginning of the fourth. Weaver keeps the play alive by using his feet, hitting Jared Candelaria with the pass. And then the Heat get some much-needed points as Candelaria pulls in this one for the touchdown. The point after is good, and the Heat pull within 2 scores. The War Angels go 3 and out, the Heat get the ball back, and they start to drive down the field. Weaver evades pressure and is able to get the ball down the field, but the receivers just can't bring it in. Candelaria is able to pick up a first down on a draw. The War Angels defense wouldn't let up and kept pressuring Weaver. Charles Towers gets the sack on this play. That makes it third down. Weaver rolls out and finds a leaping Candelaria who's almost close enough for a first down. 4th and 1, the Heat go for it. But unfortunately, Weaver is stopped. The War Angels come out looking to run the ball and run some clock. Curtis Berry takes it 35 yards for a first down and edge the field position back the other way. There was still time enough on the clock for 2 scores. Weaver hits Casey Clapsaddle down the field to get him in position. But another Weaver interception, this time to Joseph Fiame, killed the Heat's comeback hopes.
All right, on behalf of the PCFL, I want to congratulate the War Angels.
Richmond War Angels are your 2011 PCFL champions. Congratulations. And your final score, Richmond 27, Reading 14. The PCFL is a league owned by the teams for the players. Your teams, your league, your PCFL. If you'd like to join the league or if you'd like to sponsor the league or a team, please contact Ken Curry at thepcfl.com. I'm your host, Angry Mike, and I'll see you next time.